வலையொலி நேயர்களுக்கு வணக்கம். அமீரக தமிழர்களுக்காக இன்று ஒரு சுவாரஸ்யமான தலைப்பில் 3 விருந்தினர்களை உங்களுக்காக சந்திக்க இருக்கின்றோம். உங்க எல்லாருக்குமே இன்டெலிஜென்ட் கோஷன்ட், எமோஷனல் கோஷன்ட் இதெல்லாம் தெரியும். சக்சஸ் கோஷன்ட் ஒண்ணு இருக்கு. சக்சஸ் கோஷன்ட் ஃபார் லைஃப். லெட் அஸ் டாக் அபவுட் இட். அதுதான் இன்றைய தலைப்பு. இந்த தலைப்புல நம்மோட கலந்துரையாட அந்த 3 பேர் வந்திருக்காங்க. அது யாருன்னாக்கா, அமெரிக்காவில நர்ச்சர் த ஆர்டிஸ்ட் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு அமைப்போடைய ஃபவுண்டர், டைரக்டர் அண்ட் சிஇஓ ஆன திருமதி லலிதா ராமமூர்த்தி அவர்கள். இவர் ஒரு பரத கலைஞரும் கூட. அது மட்டும் இல்லாம ஒரு ஹெல்த் கோச், ஒரு ஹெல்த் இன்ஃப்ளூயன்சர், ஒரு டயட்டீஷியன் என பல துறை நிபுணர். இவருக்கு அடுத்ததாக டாக்டர் ஆஷிஷ் பர்னானி இந்தியால இருந்து நம்மள ஜாயின் பண்ண போறாரு. இவர் ஸ்கிலோவா அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு லேர்னிங் அகாடமியோடைய ஃபவுண்டர், டைரக்டர், ஒரு ட்ரெயினர், மாஸ்டர் ட்ரெயினர்னே சொல்லலாம். மாஸ்டர் ட்ரெயினர், லீடர்ஷிப் அண்ட் டெவலப்மெண்ட் கோச், இது எல்லாத்துலயும் எக்ஸ்பர்ட்டா இருக்காரு. இவங்க 2 பேர் இல்லாம அமீரகத்துல நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் மிகவும் பரிச்சயமான திருமதி ஸ்ரீவித்யா சுகுமார் அவர்கள் நம்மளோட ஜாயின் பண்ண போறாங்க இன்னைக்கு. இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை பார்த்து கொண்டிருக்கும் உங்கள பலருக்கும் வாழ்க்கையில ஒரு புதிய பார்வையை தர போறாங்க இவங்க 3 பேரும். ஹலோ ஸ்ரீவித்யா சுகுமார் அண்ட் லலிதா ராமமூர்த்தி, 2 பேருக்கும்
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம்.
வணக்கம்.
அமீரக வலையொலி நேயர்களுக்கு அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம்.
நன்றி மேம். நன்றி.
வணக்கம் ரமா மலர். It's one more time we are uniting with you and so happy to be here. Thank you so much. Thanks for this opportunity to Amiraga Valayoli. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. உங்க 3 பேருக்குமே இப்போ நீங்க 2 பேர் ஜாயின் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க. இன்னும் கொஞ்ச நேரத்துல மிஸ்டர் ஆஷிஷ் ஜாயின் பண்ண போறாரு. உங்க 3 பேருக்கும் ஒரு நோவிஸ் அல்லது ஒரு பாமரனா எங்ககிட்ட இருந்து வர ஒரு கொஸ்டின் என்னன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னாக்கா, நம்ம எல்லாருக்குமே இன்டெலிஜென்ட் கோஷன்ட் அப்படிங்கிற ஒண்ணு தெரியும், எமோஷனல் கோஷன்ட்ங்கிறது ஒண்ணு தெரியும். இந்த சக்சஸ் கோஷன்ட் அப்படிங்கிறது என்ன? இஸ் சக்சஸ் சினானிமஸ் டு ஹாப்பினஸ் அப்படிங்கறத பத்தி நீங்க சொல்லுங்க.
Yes sir. I would like to take it forward with that.
Yes.
As we know, இத பத்திலாம் நம்ம எப்ப திங்க் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சோம்னா, டெஃபினட்டா கோவிட்னு ஒண்ணு நம்ம வாழ்க்கையில நுழைஞ்ச உடனே we thought of thinking about what is success, how we are going to just relate our life further, resonated to the shortcomings which are coming in. So அத பத்தி நம்ம திங்க் பண்றச்சே we started thinking about ourselves, we started looking into ourselves. It's nothing but the refined form of art of inner engineering அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். அதாவது COVID and its impact is definitely has been a blessing in disguise, and which has just formulated life with a lot of titrations and combination reactions, and it has given exponential solutions for the generations to come. ஏன்னா இதில் நிறைய changes நம்மளால பார்க்க முடியாது. Yes, this process has ensured our generations with an endowment of the holistic way of life. I repeat the word holistic. When it comes to the holistic way of life, the process of intelligence is involved in it. அதுல வர இந்த uncut truth ன்னு சொல்லுவா. அதுதான் இந்த IQ, EQ, SQ, AQ. IQ na intelligence quotient, EQ na emotional quotient, SQ na social quotient, and AQ na adversity quotient. This is actually the flow of thought. What comes to the thought that handles our emotions. When it handles our emotions, we are able to relate it to the society. From the society, what are problems that we are facing, how we are going to handle the situation, and that defines the whole term of holistic intelligence. And when it views the intelligence that helps us learn to respect ourselves, the whole reality with the nature and the culture that is involved. That is what is emotional quotient, intelligence quotient. And moving further, when it comes to the handling the problems of life, the transcendental intelligence that defines and shapes our reality according to the different situations and the needs of the future, that handles the emotional quotient. When we are doing this process, the evolutionary impulses and the dynamics involved, that brings some changes, brings transformation in us and to make us sustainable for the reality. That's what defines the holistic intelligence. That's what it moves about. But do we have the capacity in ourselves to guide the future generation for this success quotient, which is a sustainable formula for the future? This is what we are going to think about. As you know, 4 of us are united here. Each one of us will handle one topic so that it makes it easy, and then we can move further. like say for example, intelligence quotient. Intelligence quotient, as we know, it is more or less related to the academics part of it. That is the total score derived from the set of standard test or the exam, so-called, or the subtest assigned for the human intelligence. Adudha in the intelligence quotient. This we normally derive from the academics part of it. This includes academics. This also includes qualities of analytical skills, logical reasoning, ability to relate to multiple skills that we need to acquire for the sustainability, and retrieve and apply the situation in life. Other than the intelligence quotient. Number knowledge is one, understanding is one, application is the next one, synthesis, and moving further, how we are going to relate this concept and the context that is learned to the real life situation. Other than the intelligence quotient. This is the normal standardized test, verbal activity, verbal test, reading comprehension, data interpretation, logical reasoning. These are different kinds of assessment patterns are there, which defines this intelligence quotient as a whole person. But in this process, what the person acquires, ஒரு persona இருக்கிறச்சே, what all things that they able to develop within themselves is definitely EQ. That is how to handle the situation. Emotional quotient definitely plays a very important point, and also the social quotient. Moving further, how to adapt to the community, how to adapt to the society, how am I going to relate myself, the learned concept to the society, contribute to the society, அப்படின்றது definitely acquire பண்ணிப்பா in the process. So moving,
will there be a clash between the social quotient and the intelligent quotient at times?
Definitely நிறைய விஷயத்துல இது வந்து நிறைய கிளாஷ் ஆகும். அது வந்து மேடம் லலிதா அவங்க பேசறச்சே நமக்கு நிறைய ரிலேட் பண்ணி சொல்ல முடியும், அவ கான்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்றச்சே. சோ ஒரு they will not become, அதாவது நம்ம என்ன ஒரு freedom of thought, freedom of action வரச்சே, we are going to liberate the person from being emotionally restricted, intellectually restricted, and socially restricted. இதுதான் நம்ம திங்க் பண்ண போறோம். That is what is contributing to the success quotient formula. இது எல்லாமே வந்து வரக்கூடிய ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ். பட் இதை ஹேண்டில் பண்ணிட்டு அவ எப்படி தன்னை புஷ் பண்ணிட்டு மேல கொண்டு வர போறான்றதுதான் இது. The whole process is called as the success quotient. Yeah. So moving further, like emotional quotient, like if you want to contribute, you can contribute, Rama. Like what do you think about emotional quotient, that you can go ahead and then we can speak further.
Yes, so what do I think about emotional quotient is that, like, there should be a self assertiveness, you know, in everything what we do. So that is what will give us the social quotient. Like, how do we interact with others, how do we place ourselves with others, இல்லையா? அது வேணும். நமக்கு ஒரு செல்ஃப் எஸ்டீம் எப்பயுமே இருக்கணும். அந்த செல்ஃப் ரெஸ்பெக்ட் வந்து மற்றவங்களுக்கான ஒரு ஃபீலிங்ஸ்க்கான ஒரு மரியாதையும் அதுல இருக்கணும். அப்போ அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும்போது தான் வந்து ஒரு செல்ஃப் கோஷன்ட் வந்து அந்த இடத்துல வந்து ஒரு ஹையர் வேல்யூவை வந்து கிடைக்கும் அப்படிங்கறது எனக்கு தோன்றுது. எப்போ நம்ம பத்தி மட்டுமே நம்ம நினைச்சு மத்தவங்களை நம்ம அதுல யோசிக்காம இருந்தோம்னா அங்க வந்து ஒரு சோஷியலைசிங் ஸ்கில் இருக்க போறது இல்லை. நம்ம வந்து சோஷியபிளா இருக்க போறது இல்லை, ஒரு சொசைட்டில இருக்க போறது இல்லை. மேன் இஸ் அ சோஷியல் அனிமல் சொல்ற மாதிரி எப்பயுமே வந்து கூடி வாழணுங்கிற ஒரு எண்ணம் எப்ப வருதோ அப்பதான் நம்மளால வந்து சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்க முடியும்னு எனக்கு தோணுது. நான் அப்படின்னு மட்டும் நினைச்சா அதுல போதாது. எப்பயுமே வந்து நம்ம கூட இருக்கிற இன்னொருத்தரை நீ வந்து உயர்த்தினாதான் நீ சக்சஸ்ஃபுல் ஆக முடியும். அங்கதான் வந்து ஒரு சோஷியல் கோஷன்ட் வருது அப்படிங்கிறது எனக்கு தோணுது.
வெரி குட். ரொம்ப அழகா சொன்னீங்க. இதே வந்து ஆக்சுவலா அந்த இமோஷனல் கோஷன்ட் டெஃபினிஷனே நம்ம பார்த்தோம்னா கூட, இட் இஸ் an intelligence to maintain peace with inner engineering of self and community living, the right of respect to self and others, that will engrave a helpful environment and build on the platform of respect, love, care, compassion, and empathy.
Oh, fantastic.
Empathy. So அதுதான் அங்க சொல்றது. ரொம்ப அழகா சொன்னீங்க ரமா, நீங்க ரொம்ப அழகா சொன்னீங்க actually. So yeah, coming to the emotional, the third factor that we are talking, we are going to focus upon is the social quotient. நம்ம இப்போ லலிதா மேம் பத்தி சொன்னபடி, she has been already a health coach, nutritionist, dietitian, and she has taken a very exclusive space in the society for herself as a dancer, as an entrepreneur who has been reflecting so many lives. So Lalita ma'am, neenga ipo contribute pannonu na nenikiren.
Thank you so much, first of all, for this absolutely phenomenal topic, which is so close to my heart. Being a social animal is, first of all, One of my main goals and one of my passions also to say, I think the social networking that I involve in is the biggest strength for me today. So who I am, what I made today, and everything that you had listed. First of all, very humbled by that beautiful introduction. But what I would like to convey is that as a social animal, so rightly said by you and by Rama, we all need that unification. And more so now after COVID, we have realized that being isolated only puts us in a very confined environment, and we are not able to share, care, and add to the empathy of it. So as a social animal, the first thing, just looking at it as an aspect of a performing artist, when you look at a performing art, for example, the very important thing is you want to be amicable, appealing, and very empathetic to people. So ரொம்ப சின்ன விஷயங்கள் வந்து நம்ம we can show empathy, we can show love, we can show gratitude and show humbleness and modesty in how we do it. நம்ம பெரியவாள்லாம் சொல்லுவா வந்து சபை அறிந்து பேசு, சமயம் அறிந்து பேசு அப்படின்பா. அதே மாதிரி when you are presenting yourself in a public forum, whether it's a social gathering or whether it's a new job interview that you go to, some of the important things is body language. நீங்க எப்படி உங்களோட body language present பண்றீங்களோ அதை பொறுத்து they can definitely take in a lot of understanding. நீங்க சொல்லாத விஷயத்தை கூட உங்க body language மூலமா ஈஸியா அப்சர்வ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். So one of the important things is நிறைய பேர் வந்து கையை வந்து இப்படி ஃபிஜிட்டியா பண்ணிட்டே இருப்பா, or வந்து they will be tapping it on the table உட்கார்ந்து இருக்கிறப்போ, or they would probably be tapping their feet, or காலை மூவ் பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பா. எந்திரிச்சு நிக்கிறப்போ they'll probably be holding their hand like this. This is actually conveying that you are not ready to converse further. So the language, the body language is very important. It's not that you're completely deleting the engagement, but to a certain extent your body language definitely conveys a lot. As a social animal, it conveys a lot. Adhe mari, a lot of people quiver their lips. They will show signs. They could be very இப்போ ஒரு டான்சர் என்ன மாதிரி இருந்ததுன்னா ஃபேஸ் மூலமாவே எக்ஸ்பிரஷன்ஸ் தெரிஞ்சிரும். கோவிச்சுட்டு இருக்காங்களோ இல்லைன்னா சந்தோஷமா இருக்காங்களோ இல்லை அவங்களுக்கு பிடிக்காத விஷயம் ஒரு வந்ததுன்னா they could be very expressive with their body language. So அது ஓரளவுக்கு நம்ம வந்து கண்டெயின் பண்ணி we have to definitely do 3 important things. அதாவது first வந்து stop, take a deep breath when you are presenting yourself or when you are in a social gathering. Smile as much as you can. You cannot avoid a smile reciprocation when you are smiling. Even though I was listening to a beautiful article today, nama neurotransmitters or the neuron firing in our brain actually becomes very used to the smile, even if it is an artificial smile. Even the moment you smile, there is a lot of beautiful hormones, they call the happy hormones, that generate and that makes the brain convey good signals. Very true. So a beautiful smile is very, very important.
Let's welcome, sorry to interrupt, let's welcome Mr. Ashish, the smile. Welcome, Mr. Ashish.
Dr. Ashish,
can you please unmute yourself, sir?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rama.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Shri.
So nice to have you and connect with you on this platform, Dr. Ashish. Thanks for coming. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
We have Dr. Lalita here, Lalita Ramamurthy from US, and Mr. Mamalar as well. Sorry, Ma'am Lalita, I think we can continue.
Absolutely. No. Let's absolutely take into consideration. This is all about social quotient. So we have to be very adaptable.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ashish, for joining the session. So as I was telling you, the body language is very important. The other important thing is, ipo vandu nama, let's say we are going to be talking to somebody. Nammaloda voice, it is a very important identity for us. So the tone of your voice, hello everybody, abin solradha vida hello everybody, ஒரு modesty-யோட சொல்றது, this is also very important. இதெல்லாம் சின்ன விஷயம். நம்ம வந்து வீட்டுல நம்ம அம்மா அப்பா சின்னத்துல இருந்தே நம்மளுக்கு வேல்யூ சிஸ்டம்ஸ்ல இதெல்லாம் ஓரளவுக்கு சொல்லி தருவா மத்தவள்கிட்ட பேசுறப்போ. ஆனா ஒரு விஷயம் வந்து the previous generations, they would probably say நீ வந்து எதிர்த்து பேசக்கூடாது or அவளை வந்து தூக்கி எறிஞ்சு பேசக்கூடாது. The generations are evolving over time, so your body language can definitely convey the message and that you agree to disagree with certain things, but அதை convey பண்றதுலயும் ஒரு அழகு இருக்கு. You know, when you are doing when you are in a social gathering, the social intelligence, நிறைய விஷயம் வந்து நம்மளுக்கு social knowledge இருக்கலாம், but அதை வந்து apply பண்றது தான் social intelligence, and the quotient to that is the social quotient. So there was this beautiful book that I was reading about Dale Carnegie சொல்லி. அவர் வந்து 15 million copies he has actually published it in the early 1934. And அவரோட book வந்து talks about how to win friends and influence people. So this book has actually sold about 15 million copies, and he has actually given an example of this person who was a neurologist, and அவர் வந்து when he was actually working in the rail track, there was a rod that passed through him and it hit his head and it went through one of his eye sockets. He still survived. The problem was, after that, there were certain major changes in his brain, and the signals that are conveyed to you, or social skills நம்ம வந்து adapt பண்றது or நம்ம வந்து பேசுறது, நம்ம பழகிறது, இது எல்லாமே வந்து நம்ம frontal lobesல இருந்து it comes out, the signals. Just giving you a little bit of scientific background. எப்படி நம்ம வந்து நிறைய பேருக்கு வந்து they'll have lot of jitters, nervousness இருக்கும், பேசுறதே எப்படி கன்வே பண்றதுன்னு தெரியாது, ரொம்ப டைரக்டா வந்து impulsive-ஆ பேசிடுவா. இதெல்லாம் வந்து நம்ம if you are able to contain yourself, நம்ம வந்து if you are able to increase those synapses in the neurons in the frontal lobe, it is very important to do that. அதுக்காக உபயோகப்படுற lot of techniques இருக்கு. Meditation is definitely one of the biggest ones. Yoga is also a great way of bringing more, அதாவது reversing the age for the frontal lobe. As you grow older, with chronological aging, functional aging can be reversed, but chronological aging, obviously you can't reverse that. Even so, frontal lobes, if you want to increase that social skills and keep your social intelligence at par, you have to do a lot of these things, as in meditation, as in yoga, keep physically active. So the health coach side of me would definitely encourage that when you are in a social gathering, or when you are going for a big meeting, or you are going to be presenting something, or you are a very important guest for an event, it is very important that you stay well hydrated. These are all simple things. நன்னா சாப்பிட்டுட்டு போனோம்னா வயிறு நிறைய சாப்பிட்டுட்டு ஏப்பமிடக்கூடாது. those are etiquettes you want to follow. நான் சொல்றது, nutritionally you have to adequately, you have to give your body all the fueling that it requires. Nutritionally it has to be a well balanced meal. அது பண்ணினாதான் உங்களுக்கு வந்து lot of the chemicals that impact in your body actually is also based on what you eat. You are what you eat ங்கிறதுதான் is the hypocrites age old saying. So நீங்க என்ன சாப்பிடுறீங்களோ அது மாதிரி தான் நீங்க react பண்ணுவீங்க. So that's why they have these sattvic, rajasic, tamasic foods, which is beautifully explained in our scriptures. And we do understand that when you eat certain foods, you would convey some emotions that way. Also, when you are in a social gathering, balancing those emotions, these are all practices that you do, engage with over a period of time, and so well conveyed that emotional intelligence and social intelligence, idellame vandu it will intertwine to a great extent, to bring that success quotient. And what is success to each person is definitely different, right? I could be working as a homemaker all my life and feel absolutely at content and feel very happy about being successful my entire life for having created that beautiful community around me. So each person's success quotient is also going to be different, but putting that together with different elements, such as the social element, is very important. And the other important thing that I wanted to talk about was dress sense. The ஆள் பாதி ஆடை பாதி அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவா. சோ நம்ம எப்படி வந்து நம்மள பிரசன்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறோமோ, நம்ம எவ்வளவு அழகா நம்மள ரெஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ண, அந்த செல்ஃப் ரெஸ்பெக்ட் கொடுத்து, செல்ஃப் எஸ்டீம் கொடுத்து, it is not that you have to wear the biggest brand or the most expensive exclusive jewelry and outfits. When you are, for example, as a performing artist, I love to dress up. I love to be, dressed in different variant colors and everything. But it doesn't mean that you have to stick to a name brand or anything. As long as you bring yourself, your identity in that, and it speaks for itself, that's all that matters. So social intelligence is an acquired intelligence. The more you interact with people, the more you communicate with people, the more you network with people, you can increase this over a period of time. Do not isolate yourself. Stay connected with the social people around you or socially around you. You are a social animal, and that's the best way you can stay connected with the world.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for such valuable information. ரொம்ப அழகாவே சொல்லிட்டீங்க, எல்லாமே சொல்லிட்டீங்க.
ரொம்ப அழகா சொல்லிருக்கா. Actually, the intelligence actually to build a network and cherish relationship that will nurture culture and citizenship to live in harmony with the nature. That's the social quotient. ரொம்ப ரொம்ப அழகா சொன்னீங்க. It's very nice. I think number viewers soon they will make an effort to put themselves in other person's shoes, and they will read all invisible interconnections in a social apparatus, definitely. Non-verbal behaviors patti mentioned pannin, so they will definitely learn to interpret people's non-verbal behaviors as well, taking into accord, keep a track of how you feel, how do I feel, how do we feel abindra oru concept oda, and they will definitely approach this with the concept with the intrapersonal receptiveness as well. Romba romba அழகா சொன்னீங்க, and it will definitely give a very clear thought to our viewers on the basis of social quotient. Moving further, like we do have thank you Lalita ma'am, thank you so much for your contributions, and you can stay with us till the end of the session. And we have Dr. Ashish.
Yes, Shivani.
Thank you so much. You can introduce yourself, Dr. Ashish.
I'm from India. My name is Ashish Parnani, and I'm the founder and principal consultant of the organization called Skill Yuva Learning Academy. A couple of years back, during COVID first phase in India, we started this organization, and now we started as an e-learning organization, but now we are a full-fledged international training and coaching organization. And as far as e-learning is concerned, we have more than 11,000 registered learners on our website. And our mobile application is very soon to launch. And talking about the training and coaching part, by God's grace, we have been successful in training and coaching people and certifying them in 13 countries in just a period of 2 years. So God has been really gracious. And on personal note, I'm an internationally certified master trainer and facilitator. I'm an international diploma holder in business coaching and mentoring, and have a PhD in training and development from Indian University. So this is a brief about me. My expertise lies into sales and leadership, and I occasionally I train people on a business context. I train people, train trainers, coaches, and working professionals, and certify them. So this is a brief about me.
Maybe ask
Thank you
us,
so
what do
much.
you mean by Skill Yuva? Sorry to interrupt, Vidya.
Yeah, sure, Rama.
Yes.
So skill yuva, skill means the skill part, the English word of skill.
Okay.
Very easy, right? To understand. The yuva means the youth. Okay.
Oh,
so
okay.
what
Skill yuva.
skill yuva, the premise of skill yuva is that there is no age of learning.
Okay.
And therefore, when you read skill yuva, when you Google or go to our website, when you read skill yuva, our logo, downstairs you will read something called learning is eternal. So that is what Skill Yuva, the premise is, that learning is eternal. There is no age of learning. Anyone and anyone at any point of time can learn, and something new can implement in his or her life and grow and help others to grow.
That's a very sensible naming. We have 7 minutes more, Shividya. Accordingly,
Yeah.
we'll finish the meeting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So Dr. Ashish, like we have been talking about success quotient. We have been discussing about intelligence quotient, emotion quotient, and you joined us during the session with Ma'am Lalita Ramurthy, like talking about social quotient. Moving further, definitely for anything to get success, there are hardships. So we would like to hear from you on the basis on the concept of adversity quotient, how to handle hardships and challenges, embrace those challenges, and become level-headed in addressing those hardships, and to treat every learning experience as success.
Absolutely, absolutely. Lovely to listen to Lalita for last 4-5 minutes. I was here. So what she was sharing is I can get that lots of knowledge is filled. She's filled with lots of knowledge about different concepts, different things. So that was wonderful to hear about from her. So now the thing is, the context is that when we are dealing with all these types of quotients, and when Lalita was sharing about the social quotient, so she lastly she pointed out one thing, that it could be learned, it could be increased. Okay? Because when we talk about quotient, that is, it could be measured, and it could be measured on the basis of what you do in the society. Okay, and from there only the people can judge you. People don't evaluate more of the things, they judge, right? That they have a kind of a tendency. So they judge each other, they judge you on the basis of your behavior or what you do, and therefore comes your social quotient. However, when you are living in this world, you are a social animal, as pointed by Lalita. So I'll take from there. You will go through the hardships, you will go through the challenges, you will go through the misfortunes in your life. And when you combine all these things, it gives you a word called adversity. And that is what adversity is. Adversity is an amalgamation or a combination or individualistic, also talking about different hardships, misfortunes, or challenges a person gets in his life or her life. That's what adversity is. However, the thing is, the best part about adversity is it could be managed. You can learn about it. You can decrease it to a certain extent. And actually, there are few people who have mastered this art of managing this adversity as well. Absolutely. And that is the best part about what adversity quotient is all about. So what adversity quotient is, now we have understood what adversity is. Adversity quotient is an art of measuring your effectiveness or strength when it comes to the core hardships you go through in your life. How would you measure it? How would you strengthen those things? That is all about adversity quotient. Now, there are lots of things. Let me tell you the background of it, a slight background. We have 5-6 minutes for the session to get over. Adversity quotient, the word, first of all, it was given by Dr. Paul Stolz in 1997 around, in his book called Adversity Quotient. And he wrote about that there are lot of things depending on the success, depend on people getting promotions, people getting towards the height of their entrepreneurial career or corporate ladder, and a lot of things were said. However, there was just one question asked to lots of thousands of managers, entrepreneurs, CEOs, and business owners. And that one question was, what does it depend, or where does the line or the concept depends when it comes to success and failure? Success and failure. Where would be the one line? What is that one thing which, you put one finger onto that one thing between success and failure? And that was adversity. That means a person's ability to manage or to handle those hardships, those challenging situations, those crisis situations in his or her life. This may be staggering for us. This may be astounding for us to understand. But this was a thing when he did a research for his book. Think about it. We talk about adaptability. We talk about innovation. We talk about collaboration. We talk about leadership. These are different topics, different social skills, people skills, or behavioral skills, which are not just nowadays we are talking about. They are the top 4, top 5, emotional intelligence also. Top 4, top 5 when it comes to last 5 to 7 years. Why? Why we are talking about this? Because in these skills, people are able to make a decision considering their adversity factor, considering their challenging, what kind of a challenge they have and how they are making their decision and coming to a result. And that's what he pointed out. Now, if I have to give you people, all our viewers who are listening and watching us, very important thing, what I consider a best way to deal with adversity is that to understand the 4 C's. I share this in my leadership sessions for managers and executives, and I guess we all can learn something new. The first thing is if a person is not aware of his adversity, the first thing is to get the awareness. Because what normal tendency that we have, we want to live in a comfort zone. Almost everyone wants to live in a comfort zone because comfort zone is a very comfortable zone. No one wants to get hurt. No one wants to get disturbed. My father, there was my uncle who bought a wonderful, a kind of a recliner. And if anyone sat in that recliner, he don't like it. He said, no, you get up. I'll sit. This is my recliner. That was his comfort zone. He felt complete. He was so comfortable in that. And therefore, my dear friends, what happens is when we are so much inclined towards our comfort zone, we were so much comfortable in our comfort zone, we are not able to understand the adversity properly. And sometimes adversity is very, very strange to us. And therefore, we are not able to manage the adversity quotient. Our adversity quotient is actually at the bottom corner, at the bottom when it comes to the comfort zone. So the first zone is C, comfort zone. The second thing is what we need to do is we need to get ourselves out of the comfort zone and put ourselves into a challenge zone. The second C is challenge. And that's where our adversity quotient comes to a little bit to a higher side. Challenge. We need to understand, okay, this is a challenge. This is a misfortune happened to us. Okay, now the COVID came. What is my strategy towards COVID? What is my strategy towards my business because the COVID has come? Same situation happened with me. I used to give lots of offline training. When COVID came in 2020, I had to switch to online because now everyone was talking about online. Hotels were shut down. I was not able to do the offline training in corporates on my flagship workshops in hotels, which I was supposed to do or which I used to do. Now what happened? If I remain in my comfort zone, if I think that COVID will go, no problem. 1 month or 2 months, COVID will go. Let's see what happens. I have money left. I have backup. My wife is working or, my father will support me. Then things would have turned something else. But what I did, I accepted that challenge. I move out of my comfort zone and enter into a challenge zone. That's what we need to do to help our adversity quotient. If anyone wants to get, measure the adversity quotient or increase that level to understand the level of adversity, he should enter into a challenge zone. The third thing, when a person enters into a challenge zone and performs in a challenge zone, he comes into a third C that is called change zone. So we got through comfort zone, then we came to a challenge zone. When we enter into a challenge zone, the change happens. When we perform into a challenge zone, the change happens. And most often it's a positive change that we see. We often say that change is the only constant, right? So the context is that there's a very funny thing. We want to see the change in others, but we don't want to see the change in ourselves. We want to live in a comfort zone. So again, reflecting back to the first thing. See, adversity quotient is such a funny concept. And at the same point of time, it's a very interesting and sincere topic as well, because it's adversity, right? Adversity, when you go through the definition, it has nothing positive into it. All the negative words. Adversity, when you go to a definition, it will say adversity is a combination of hardships, difficulty, misfortunes, all these negative words. Okay? But in a way, it's a very interesting concept also, because if you practically apply it, you'll get the results. So the context is that sometimes we want to see the change in others, but we don't want to do it ourselves. But the fact is, the reality is that we need to enter into a challenge zone, accept that challenge, perform into it so that we can see the change. And the best part is, let me give you an example. COVID came and now everything was shut down outside. And in the morning in India, in my city, what was the situation was like that in the morning for 2 hours and in the evening for 2 hours, the shops will open and you can go and buy the groceries and all these things. So my father, being a very kind of a person that new disease has come, new pandemic has come. So he said, I will not go to buy the milk or groceries. Anyone can go, I will not go. So he was, you know, very straight away. He has said, "I will not go outside. Outside, Corona is there." Okay, so it was very new. Okay, and he's a kind of a person who watches every news channel and you read newspaper. So he actually went into that challenge zone and didn't act on it, but actually you know, sat down on it. And his attitude towards was is that I don't want to act on it. Okay, I don't want to act. But the thing is, even if you don't act on a challenge, there is a kind of a change, but that change is not positive. Okay. There was a change, but the change affects all of us. So I went and buy the groceries because, okay, our family has someone to buy the groceries and someone can go either in the morning or in the afternoon. So the context is, what I'm trying to set is that we need to adapt to the challenge so that change can come. Because if we are not accepting and performing into it, that challenge or the result of that challenge can affect us personally and can affect our family also, and overall as a society. And that is what the change is all about. It's very, very important to understand. The overall objective is to bring a positive change. If you bring a positive change, and if that change is repeated, that is, you're performing regularly in your challenge zone. Every day is a challenge and you're performing to the best of your abilities, by understanding your hardships, by managing your difficulties, by analyzing your misfortunes. You're performing every single day and out. What do? You produce regular change. And when you produce regular change, that is positive change, you enter into a fourth C, that is C. Zone is champion. A C called champion. You know what champion is all about? A champion is a person who has understood adversity, not like anyone else, because his quotient of adversity is totally different. And that's what we need to learn. We need to learn the adversity quotient from an angle of a champion, because he has gone through everything. He has gone through from every hurdle, every angle. And that's what the top level of adversity quotient is, to perform like a champion. If you know about Cristiano Ronaldo, so Cristiano Ronaldo is a football player and is a kind of a Messi is the opponent very close to him. Both of them are considered as number one or number two. Okay, fans fight with each other on social media. But I want to give you an example of Cristiano Ronaldo. Very challenging life, does not want to settle in a comfort zone, enter into a challenge zone, perform every day, brought a change for himself, for his family, and for other people. And then he's performing every day, doing it every day. And he's a champion. You know what kind of a adversity he faced? He faced his personal adversity. You know, someone told him that if you want to play for a longer time, you need to work on your legs, because you are a football player, you're a soccer player, you need to work on your legs, feet. And he sit for 30 to 40 minutes or even 50 minutes on a chilled water with ice bath. He takes an ice bath. Think about it. 30, 40 minutes in a ice. There is a tub filled with ice, and he just put his leg so that his legs can get relaxed and the muscles can get relaxation, so that he can be ready for next day. Can a normal person can do something like this? This is what understanding the hardship, just a very simple example, understanding the hardships and misfortunes and whatnot. So at the end, let me revise the AQ. AQ is measuring and strengthening the core response of anything or everything. That is your core response. Thank you, sir. Okay. Like, and I hope you will remember all these four C's.
How for a diamond we estimate it or value it by the carat, cut, color, all the 3 C's. You have also listed 3 C's. Can you say all the 3 C's once again?
Absolutely. So we end up with the fourth one as well, called champion. So we start with comfort zone, then we second come with a challenge zone, third is a change zone, and the fourth is a champion zone.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, Srividya.
Thank you, Dr. Ashish. That was really, really brilliant. So moving further, like I think to sum it up exactly, it was a wonderful session. We have spoken about intelligence quotient. We have spoken about emotional quotient. We have spoken about social quotient. We have spoken about adversity quotient. End of the day, what does it contribute to the holistic intelligence that we are talking about? The solution is a combination of love, care, empathy, congeniality, structured by the bonds of grit, determination, resilience, to conclude, this too shall pass and we shall remain. That's the uncut truth that we come out of it. Isn't it, Rama?
Fantastic, well said. I think Ms. Lalita also, she will agree to that because being a health coach and being an influencer, health influencer, she knows what is being healthy, you know, to become a healthy human being. It's all there in your mind, you know. To train your mind, you need certain qualities. That is what
Absolutely.
she also listed. Yeah, fantastic.
Absolutely. Very, very beautiful session. A very important topic and a very need-based topic for us to dwell into. And I'm very thankful to the entire team for having given the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Welcome, ma'am. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ashish. Thanks, Rama. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Good night.
Lalita.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Thank you very
God
much.
bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
அமீரக வலையொலி நேயர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் நன்றியும் வணக்கமும். இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை கண்டு ரசித்த உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் எங்களுக்கு நெஞ்சார்ந்த நன்றி.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.